we're going to use the 6 on the bottom and the 9 over here to work out the scale factor. So length original time by scale factor to length enlarged. So this 6 time by and scale factor equals length enlarged, which is 9. Okay, Mr. Ramiz, are you with us? So to work that out, what do we do with the time by 6? Divide by 6. How about the time by 6 is? Divide by 6. So the scale factor is equal to 9 divided by 6, which is equal to 1.5. So now what we know is, when we go from here to there, we multiply by 1.5 that way. Now the question says work out this side over here. So we know that this side QR corresponds with BC. So this was the starting point. This is my length original. I have to multiply that by the scale factor, and that will give me this length here. Okay, now what is the length of the original? The length of the original is
14 times
14 times by
1.5.
1.5. That gives us 21. So QR is equal to 21 centimeters. Now the next question says work out AB. Is that right?
Yeah.
AB. So same situation applies then. So this AB here, this is what we've got to work out now in the next part. This is AB is our length original. And we're going to multiply it by the scale factor.
1.5.
And we're going to get from there, we're going to get which answer?
15.
15. So we say here length original time by the scale factor equals length enlarged. So we say here AB time by 1.5 is equal to 15. No.
15 divided by 1.5.
That's right. Up at the time by 1.5 is divided by 1.5. So AB is equal to 15 divided by 1.5. That gives an answer of 10. Okay. Is this showing happy with that one? So in this particular one here, because we weren't working at the enlarged side, we were working at the original side. Okay, that's why we had to do some rearranging. Okay? Because before, in the other question, once we worked at the scale factor, we just threw it in with the value and it gave us an answer. We threw that in there, and it gave us an answer. In this question here, they gave you the answer first. They want you to work out the question. Okay. Right, are we happy with that question then? Should we try another question? Okay, now, who's got the original clip for that one? Okay, right, look, read that question to me. Okay, the next question is a typical examination style question with the drawing is. Let's get rid of all this stuff here. Okay, here's the question. We have a shape, and it's just slightly too big. Make it a little bit smaller. Clip 1, 2, 3. So we have two triangles here. We have triangle A, B, C is similar to triangle A, D, E. What do you realize in this particular question? That the triangles are on top of each other. Before we had two separate shapes, didn't we? Yeah? On this particular question, the triangles are literally inside each other. That's nothing to worry about. All we need to do then, okay, is to draw the shape out separately, so it makes sense to us. So I'm going to draw this first part out here. So 15, 12.5. So that's A, that's C, and that's B. Okay, and then we can draw the big one out. A to D to E.
So do you have a pencil, please?
Here we have pencils. Have a look in...
Got one.
There's a
Got
tray. That one?
Yeah.
Right. So what do we know? What is the length of AE, Ifra? What is the length of AE? A to E. The length of A to E is going to be this. Add that.
21.
So that gives us
21.
21. And on the big shape, is that all that we know on the big shape? Najman, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the big shape, that's what we know for the big shape. Now, the question goes, work out the length of DE for that question. Where's DE? DE is going to be this one. We don't know that, right? Okay, DE corresponds with?
BC.
Okay, right, let's write down the basic formula. So we say here, length of the original times by the scale factor equals length of the enlarged. This is my original. Hang on a second. We've got one shape, the smaller one, that one, so we'll call this one the original, isn't it? Yeah? Because this one becomes that one. So we'll call this one our length original. And this will be the length enlarged. As you can see, that's the small one, that's the bigger one. So the length original is 12.5. We multiply that by the scale factor, and that will give us DE. Now, what's wrong with the question that as it stands at the moment?
We have that scale factor.
We don't have scale factor. Not only do we not have the scale factor, so we can't work out answer. We've got two unknowns. So we need to go out and work out the scale factor. So Zishan, from this diagram here, my new diagram, which I've taken from here, how do we work out the scale factor? What information do we use to work out the scale factor, Zishan? Nobody else? We look at which two sides that will help us work out the scale factor.
15 and 21.
Excellent, beautiful. Why? Because these two sides correspond. So Umar, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
A to C corresponds with that length there. So we can say now again, use the same formula again. So we say length original times by the scale factor is equal to the length enlarged. So what we're looking at here is that length original is 12.5 now. Multiply that by the scale factor, gives us 21. Have I picked the right one, folks? No? That's the wrong one, that's the wrong value. It's not 12.5, I'm looking at. Okay, 15. Pardon me, folks, I copied down the wrong number. This is our new LO and LE. Okay? But are you happy with that? So this number 15 times by something gives us 21. Okay, Mr. Remiz. So I want to work out the scale factor. Opposite of time by 15 is?
Divided by 15.
So 21 divided by 15 has a value of?
1.4.
1.4. Are you all happy with that? Has anybody else got the answer as well? Mutaba, you got that?
Yeah.
Happy with that? Okay, 1.4 is the answer for that one. Good. Now that we went to the scale factor, we can put the scale factor, we can rub this out here, can't we?
Yeah.
And put it into there. So we now know the scale factor is 1.4. You've got calculators, so use them. 12.5 times by 1.4 will give us the DE, and that gives us a value of
3.5.
12.5 times by 1.4.
Oh, 1.
Okay, 12.5 times by 1.4.
17.5.
17.5, that sounds like a better answer. 1.5 centimeters. Okay. So when you have a question inside the question, Hamza, what do? We pull the question apart and relabel it and do the same thing to it. Find two corresponding lengths, work at scale factor first, and then do the question I've asked us to do. Okay, folks, are we happy with that now? Does that be a bit more clear? Alright, let's have a look at some other questions. Alright, I think I've got some exam questions for you as well over here, ready? Okay, and this one, this one, this one. This one. That's what we do now. That's another one here. That's an easy one. Okay, let's look at this one here. Okay, this is an actual exam question of scale factor. Let's quickly rub this down and look at this examination question. So see, let's have a look at how questions can vary in the examination. Okay, Zishan, does that question look nice to you, or does it look like, oh my days, let's run away? Does it look like what we've just done? It doesn't, does it?
No.
Okay, these are triangles which are inverted in a sense.
Upside
So
down.
this triangle corresponds to this triangle. Which side corresponds to which side though?
Top one.
Okay, this one. This side here, what does that correspond to?
CB.
Correct. Because the way the shape is drawn, it crosses over that. Now, what about this side here? What about CE? Somebody else now. What does that correspond to?
A.
AC. So these two correspond. Now, what does DE correspond to? That's an easy question. DE corresponds to
AB.
AB. So we have three different colors. So that one corresponds to that one. That's quite obvious. But what's not obvious is that this side corresponds to this side over here. So the shape's going to go in front of it because of the way the shape's been drawn. That's how it's similar. Right. The question here says calculate the length of BC is in the answer there. And BC and CE. BC and CE. So BC is where is BC? I'm going to work out this one. And CE is that one. Okay, right. What do we do first, folks? What do we do first? What's the first thing that we do? We write down the formula for the length. Okay? So we write down here length of the original time by the scale factor equals length of the enlarged. Are we all getting more familiar and happy with this formula? Yes? Okay, now which two sides correspond at the moment currently?
DE and AB.
DE and AB. Rutaba, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so DE time by the scale factor is equal to AB. So 6 times by something is equal to 9, and we should know that is equal to
1.5.
6 times by 1.5 is 9, or we say opposite of time by 6 is divide by 6. So the scale factor is 1.5. Now let's quickly work out these two shapes at the sides here. So we know that this little one becomes the big one. So we know CE, so again, length original time by the scale factor equals length enlarged. So that's our original side, so that's CE. Time by the scale factor is 1.5 is equal to the length enlarged 7.2. So Zishan, how do we work out the CE now? So we got the formula written properly. That's my length original. That's my length enlarged for this next part of the question. So everything's in place. I've got to work out this part here. So what do we do with the time by 1.5?
Divide it.
Divide by 1.5. And answer that is, what's 7.2 divided by 1.5?
4.8.
We get 1 point?
4.8.
4.8. Okay, so you have to label the diagram yourself. So that's my small shape becoming the big shape. That's my length original, that's my enlarged. Okay, Ramiz, lead me to the next question. I've got to work out this CB. So where do you start from?
Time C.
So you got CB's here.
Yeah.
C and B.
Yeah.
Okay, this one corresponds to?
That one there.
Okay, which one is LO? The top one or the bottom one?
So I can't see him.
Okay, LO is that one. Okay.
Oh.
So can you move that? I can't see
Okay.
it. So that lights irritating.
Okay, we'll have to do something like that. Smash the bulb or something. So LO is 5.2, so this will have to be
5 point.
LE.
Okay.
So we say here the length original time by the scale factor is equal to the length enlarged. Okay, now we're coming up to the first hour and we haven't moved off similar lengths. We've got areas to do and volumes to do. MashaAllah, we're working on a really good speech there. Excellent. 5.2.
So we got 2 others left.
You got?
So the
Yeah,
others
for
left.
2 of the subjects.
Yeah, for
Do area
you think
value?
we want to do this
Yeah, in
3
each
hours? Allahu Akbar. 5.2 time by the scale factor is 1.5 is equal to the length enlarged. Okay, off we go. This little one time by the scale factor. What's 5.2 time by 1.5?
Don't know.
10 now.
That
one really good.
7.8. 7.what?
7.8. Done. Okay. Right, so we can stop that out please for us. Right. Okay folks, for those of you, let's do some couple more questions and then we move on.